like and subscribe. On the way in the door, my people. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays. Fanboys, you know what time it is.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I see what I'm saying. I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
Okay, so I want to thank you all for participating in the poll who would win a one-on-one tournament between Grant Hill, Kevin Durant, and Tracy McGrady. My pick is actually Tracy McGrady, T-Mac. I say that because as far as one-on-one skills, I believe that had T-Mac not got injured and was a harder worker, T-Mac actually had the potential, I think, to be just as good as Kobe, if not better. However, I must say I think people were severely underestimating Grant Hill and severely overrating Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a great offensive weapon, but in a one-on-one situation where it's definitely going to be more physical, you know, I really don't see Kevin Durant holding up against T-Mac or Grant Hill. I just don't see it. I don't see Kevin Durant as a great one-on-one player. Matter of fact, there's quite a few people who I would think would probably get the best of Kevin Durant in one-on-one situations. Anyway, y'all know what we're here for. And fanboys, let me tell you, you have caught me on the right day. You caught me on the right day. Because some of these comments, yeah, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Fanboy number 1. This comes from my How the Media Ruined LeBron James at an Early Age video. Fanboy says ruined with a question mark. A first ballot Hall of Famer, all-time leader in points in the history of the NBA. I'm sorry, y'all called me on the right day. Among other accolades, a black billionaire who is still under the age of 40, 2 sons following in his footsteps, never a misstep, scandal, or brushes with the law, widely considered a top 2 player in the history of the NBA, gives back to the less fortunate in our society, could very well become an owner in the NBA himself after he retires. And this brother said ruined with the laughing emoji. That's correct, I said that. But let's go back through your nonsense. Let's go back through this. First of all, before we go back through this, you do realize we're talking about basketball, fanboy. Do you understand that? Because that's important to understand before we even get into this conversation. We are talking about basketball. But let's go through this statement again. He says ruined with a question mark and fanboy. Yes, my answer is yes, ruined. Because if you listen to the video, you would know that I was talking about ruined from what he could have been in basketball. Now, the fact that you say he's a Hall of Famer and whatever, blah, 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 you want to say, I'm saying he could have been better than what he was. Okay, let's go to the next thing. A first ballot Hall of Famer, all-time leader in points in the history of the NBA, among other accolades. We're going to come back to that, but let's go on through this. A black billionaire who is still under the age of 40, 2 sons following in his footsteps. FANBOY. Statement dismissed. We are talking about basketball. Again, this fanboys. I'm really gonna need y'all to pay attention to what is being said and talked about in these videos before you just get triggered and start, just spouting off like you got Tourette's. I'm gonna need you to pay attention to what's in these videos now. We're talking about basketball. So statement dismissed. Let's go on. Never had a misstep, a scandal, or brushes with the law. Again, FANBOY. Statement dismissed. It's irrelevant to basketball. Not talking about that. All right. Widely considered a top 2 player in the history of the NBA. Let's go ahead and talk about this. FANBOY. First of all, I guess what you have to define is what's considered widely. What do you consider widely as it pertains to the amount of people who think LeBron is top 2? Again, I think the last poll that came out, LeBron was at 30%, which I must say, he's made some progress in the last 20 years. It took him 20 years to get to 30% of the vote. So what do you consider widely? Because I could also say LeBron is widely considered by a lot of people not top 5. LeBron is widely considered by a lot of people not top 10. I would say probably most people have him in the top 20. But yeah, FANBOY, what do you consider widely? Answer that for me. Let's move on. Gives back to the less fortunate in our society. Statement dismissed. We're talking about basketball, FANBOY. I'm gonna need you to stay on topic. So if you ever comment on my video again and you feel the need to say any stuff that has nothing to do with basketball, just go ahead and censor yourself. just stop. Just don't even start typing. Could very well become an owner in the NBA himself after he retires. Again, who cares? I don't care if he owns half of the NBA. I don't care if he owns 3 or 4 teams. We're talking about his basketball career, FANBOY. Now let's go back to the first things you said. A first ballot NBA Hall of Famer, all-time points leader in the history of the NBA. Okay, here we go. FANBOYs all over the world. I am really gonna need you guys to stop bringing up that all-time leading scorer thing. I am basketball fans. If you've been a fan of basketball, if you watched Magic and Bird play, if you got to watch Jordan play, and even before then, if you watch Kareem play and some of them other peoples, if you watch Kobe play and Tim Duncan and all of these guys, why is it that this all-time leading scoring thing has never been talked about so much? I mean, really, it's getting ridiculous now. FANBOYs, listen here. This record by your king, which is suspect like a lot of things he's done in his career, has never been talked about so much. Like, you guys should feel some kind of way that you now have to talk about something that never was highlighted like that. The only time they would talk about it is when Kareem would come up in a come up in the conversation, and, you know, people just wanted to put some respect on Kareem by acknowledging that. But guess what, fanboys? That didn't make Kareem the GOAT. It does not make... Fanboys, let me talk to you. Explain to me how Kareem, who has 6 championships, who has 6 MVPs. Explain to me how Kareem, who has that and was the all-time leading scorer, was never viewed by the GOAT as the majority of people. And now all of a sudden, you want us to believe that someone with 4 championships? You want us to believe that someone with 4 championships is now the GOAT or deserves to be in the GOAT conversation because he has the scoring title? Explain that to me. Explain that logic. Not only does he only have 4 championships, but he has 6 losses in the finals. Not only does he have that, but he has some of the worst losses in finals history. Explain that logic to me, fanboys. I would love if one of you had a good explanation for this. That would be wonderful. Explain to me how Kareem, who has more championships, more MVPs than this guy, was never viewed by the GOAT as the GOAT by the majority. And now we're supposed to view someone with less championships and just as many losses as Kareem has championships. But now this all-time leading scoring record is just the thing that you hang your hat on now. Explain that to me. You know what? I don't even want to hear it. Let's move on. All right. Fanboy number 2. This comes from my "Here's Why LeBron James Should Never Call Himself the GOAT" video. And in that video, we were talking about part of the criteria should be that he's improved upon existing excellence in the game of basketball. And I mentioned, hey, LeBron has not improved on shooting. He hasn't improved on winning. He hasn't improved on dribbling. He hasn't improved on rebounding. He hasn't improved on passing. Like, what has LeBron done? What has he done that's significantly made a new benchmark for anything in basketball? And Fanboy says he improved upon longevity. That should count. Fanboy, longevity is not a basketball skill. That's why it doesn't count. Longevity can be applied to anything in the world. You can have longevity in a marriage, in a relationship. You can have longevity at the job. You can have longevity at being a loser. Longevity itself is not a basketball skill. Now, I mean, if you really want to get into it, and I'm not one to make statements about something that I don't know to be 100% factual, which is why I really don't speak on the whole LeBron allegedly into the juice thing. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about, the juice. You know, the $1 million a year juice. However, again, because you guys like to hold on to this longevity argument so much, again, I've said this on other videos, if it ever is confirmed, and let me say this, I can see why people have reason to believe that he is. I can understand that. Again, but for me, I've said this in another video, for me, he hadn't done enough for me to care about whether he is. For me to make a definitive statement about whether he is drinking the juice, so to speak. Because, again, if he is, it would have to be the worst commercial, the worst advertising for the juice that you can have. It's like, hey, I'm LeBron James, and if you want to win 4 out of 10 championships, all you need to do is spend $1 million a year for the juice. Yeah, so yeah, if he is, it's a terrible representation of what that could do for you. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Let's move on. All right, I think this is gonna be the last one. Fanboy number 3. Again, this comes from my here's why LeBron James should never call himself the GOAT video. And Fanboy says, imagine someone who was dubbed the Chosen One by Sports Illustrated and then turning around and exceeding expectations of the loftiest order. Then turning around and telling him that he is not allowed to view himself as the GOAT. All right, Fanboy, let's get real. Let's get real, Fanboy. First of all, imagine someone coming into the league deciding to wear the number of the GOAT. Deciding to wear the number of the GOAT. Deciding to try to copy everything the GOAT does, except actually play the basketball game like the GOAT did. Imagine someone coming in, doing his variation of the powder toss, attempting to shoot a free throw with his eyes closed, making Space Jam 2, trying to do everything that the real GOAT does, except play basketball like the real GOAT. Fanboy, let's talk about something. Here it is. Fanboys, brace yourself. Self-honesty, fanboys. Self-honesty. See, we live in this world today where the word confidence gets thrown around. I've seen it. I mean, just since this preseason started, I was watching a Lakers post-game interviews, and the amount of players that I heard talking about just being confident, and he played confident, and we played confident, and just confidence and throwing confidence around. The amount of people talking about confidence today is astounding. And I think people think because you say something that is showing confidence. Fanboys, I hate to tell you. I hate to tell you this, fanboys, but that is not confidence at all. If that is not the biggest showcase of insecurity, and I understand why you fanboys would think that it is confident. And I understand why you fanboys defend it with your life. Because that's what you guys act like. You're LeBron's protectors and guardians. But I really think you are guarding the traits about LeBron that exist within yourself. Yep, I'm going there. Here we are. I think you are guarding the traits about LeBron that exist within yourself. And that is the need to declare something and think by declaring it, it makes it true. To think by saying it, it is showing confidence. But let me tell you something, fanboys. People who are really confident don't go around saying how confident they are. I think you guys know this deep in your heart. Yeah. We're here. Don't take it too hard. You'll be okay. Hey, listen, fanboy. I've tried to tell you over and over again. This is to help you. This is to help you. Like, if you can see life in reality, like LeBron, if he could see life for what it is, he might have actually had a chance at being the GOAT. But see, all this not being honest with oneself. Oh, how could I say that, you ask? Because LeBron, again, has sat in front of a microphone and said, I don't even know what flopping is. Well, what is that? I don't have a clue. Hey, LeBron, let me break out this flop compilation for you. So, you know, maybe that'll jog your memory. LeBron has sat in front of a microphone and said, I've never played on the super team. See, fanboys, living in delusion. When you can't be honest with yourself, you can't get to where you're trying to go in life. This is just the fact of the matter, fanboys. I'm trying to help you out here. Now, back to this. LeBron can view himself however he wants. He can view himself however he wants. I said, here's why LeBron should never call himself the GOAT. And the biggest takeaway that you need from this, fanboys, is that real GOATs never say it. And here I'm gonna let you in on another secret. Real GOATs usually get there by not trying to become the GOAT. There it is. Real GOATs normally get there because they're not focused on trying to be the GOAT. They're just focused on competition and competing and loving the game of basketball. Michael Jordan was a cold-blooded assassin, was someone who wanted to show his dominance on a nightly basis. Not thinking about being the best ever, but simply thinking about, I'm better than you tonight on this basketball court. I'm going to show you who is the better person. Why? That is the mind of a winner. While LeBron is saying to himself, oh, well, as long as I go out there and give it my all, I can accept wherever the chips may land. That's not a winning mentality, fanboys. Anyway, we're gonna hold up here. This video has went on way long enough. Look, fanboys, look, we're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna help you out. One video at a time, you know. Again, just embrace the information. It's okay. I know you've dedicated your life to protecting your king, but I promise you, life goes on if you don't do that and you come join us in reality. Let me know what you all think in the comments. You all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.